Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
Hello, folks. This is Kev, and this is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. And yes, just gonna go over some old shit tonight. Uh, yeah, this is indeed old, but just felt like it was worth revisiting because black men, you're about to get publicly gaslit again, and it might be because you're not throwing in support for one Kamala Harris, who is by far, from what I can tell, scooped up the Democratic nomination for President of the United States. Uh, so, and no one seems to understand why you, as a black man, would have something against it. So, let me shout out some people in the chat first, and we'll get to going. Got Revelator, the Spirit of Variance. He's going to be a part of the replay gang. We got Phil Brad in the building. What's good? Red Pill Sleeper Cell, Tampa Supreme. Got AB Media 83. Says FD is the biggest simp walking the earth. Well, there's some people years ago that tried to claim that title before he did. So, A.L. Evans was good. The Punisher's in the building. Christopher the Conqueror, what's going on? Thanks for being here. And I'm listening. Also, let me see. Make sure you're hitting the like button on the way in. Let me check it out real quick. See what my likes are at. Oh, got a dislike. So I got 8 likes and I got a dislike. So Serial disliker has struck again. Fragmented Sword 77 was good. All right, that's a lot of ass in your avatar. So awesome. Awesome. So for the serial disliker, we got the little PSA going. So here you go. I'll be right back.
A warning. Warning. If you hear something that makes you upset on the broadcast, true, opinion, or otherwise, you are free to sign off or go to another channel. If you can't, please contact the displayed number below to seek help. Trolling and hate watching is more serious than you think. Now back to our scheduled broadcast.
Yeah. What up, RPM? What's good? We understand Fragmented Sword 77. So yeah, let me give a shout out to the members of the channel as well. If you are not a member, you can join. It's $2.99 per month. But to you members, thank you from month to month supporting this channel. So the members are as follows: Greg, Aaron P, Phil Brad, Gone for Milk, Indigo Flow, D Rock Den, American Negro News, Mr. Me Too, Barry Little, D Scott, Yumcha 11, Black Pearl, Andre 420, Blacklight Revelations 2, Revelator the Spirit of Variance, Detroit 313, The Builder's Table, and A Sower of Seed. What's good? Oh, what up, Marcus Romero Productions? MRP is in the building. So it's gonna read over this little this little stupid article, stupid argument that people seem to make. That it's one of those arguments that it was the beginning of a lot of gaslighting for black men. Basically, black men were concerned about the control and the leadership that was in their own households, and the framing of male feminists, I would say, which I've never been a huge fan of myself. So, all right. So this article was written back September 19th, 2017. It's called "Straight Black Men Are the White People of Black People." Okay, it was written by Damon Young. Damon Young wrote this for an extension of The Root, named Very Smart Brothers. No, from the theme of this channel right here, no, I do not agree with this sentiment in any way, shape, or form. And quite frankly, for a bunch of people who sit up there and try to virtue signal with racism, they sure like to throw this at heterosexual black men. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, that when you target heterosexual black men, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the general society of people, because they want a weak look for black men. One thing I can say about the men who listen to this programming is that they don't want a weak look for black men. Detroit 0861 was good. All right, so let's go ahead and start reading through this article right here. I'll try not to throw up in my mouth as I'm reading it. Okay. He said it feels counterintuitive to suggest that straight black men as a whole possess any sort of privilege, particularly the type of privilege created for and protected by whiteness. In America, we are near the bottom of every relevant metric determining quality of life. Our arrest and incarceration rates, our likelihood of dying a violent death, our likelihood of graduating high school and attending college, our employment rates, our average net worth, our likelihood of surviving past 70 years old. I could continue, but the point is clear. Yeah, so we would wonder, how does that equal privilege at all? So he goes on to say, but assessing our privilege or lack thereof on these facts, considering our only relationship with whiteness and with America. Intraracially, however, our relationship to and with black women is not unlike whiteness's relationship to us. In fact, it's eerily similar. So he starts in on this. Uh, what should I say? Whiteness is superior, and it's something that black men ourselves are striving for. So so basically, we want some type of rulership over black women. That is to suggest that we want to run an oppressive society for our female counterparts, so to speak. So he said, we're the ones for whom the first black president created an entire initiative to assist and uplift. We're the ones whose beatings and deaths at the hands of police galvanized the community in a way that the beatings and sexual assaults and deaths that those same police inflict upon black women do not. Mm. Okay, so basically to suggest that white people like black men more than other groups of black people because our deaths at the hands of police brutality are focused on far more than the other victims, so to speak. And he's speaking on the My Brother's Keeper Act for Black Men. So this guy is speaking like, you know, all everyone does is does anything for black men, and then one of the first things that specifically is done for black men, this is something that is used as evidence that we have privilege, uh, which some of us black men are still seeking, by the way, because we're beginning to hear stuff like this all the time, and this was one of the thoughts. One of the starts said we're the ones whose mistreatment inspired a boycott of the NFL, despite the NFL's long history of mishandling and outright ignoring far worse crimes against black women. So basically, writing this article to put black men and black women against each other, which for the most part works when it comes to women seeking excuses. Um, I'm just going to say what it is. Um, and the boycott of the NFL, when did that happen? I think I remember, uh, the Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, but I'm trying to think myself. I remember the NBA had a boycott, but man, it's a crazy situation at best. Yeah. We're the one who gets the biggest seat at the table and the biggest piece of chicken. See, this motherfucker's on that bell hook shit. Basically, because black men are out there working all day, that we expect to get fed when we get home. It's- it- oh man, this is getting ridiculous. And nowhere is this more evident when considering the collective danger we pose to black women and our collective lack of willingness to accept and make amends for the truth. Is a damning and depressing paradox when speaking about race and racism. We want our concerns, our worries, and our fears to be acknowledged. We want white people to make the effort to understand that our reality is different from theirs, and that white supremacy is vital and inextricable part of America's foundation. And we grow frustrated and when we refuse to acknowledge their role historically and presently in propagating it. Okay. Yeah. In other words, we want white people to like us. I mean, which is it's a demonstration every day by black people as a whole. But that's something that we don't want to talk about. But just blame that on black men. When the racism isn't blatant or doesn't appear to exist at all, we want them to give us the benefit of the doubt because we trained ourselves to be able to sense it. Every miss, even in minute and barely perceptible amounts, because our safety depends on our recognition of it. We share how it feels to be stopped by a police officer or perhaps walk into an all white bar and have each eye trained on us, or perhaps to jump down the street in an all white neighborhood. And we want them to understand how words and gestures they consider to be uh, innocuous can be threatening, even if there's no intention of malice, which isn't really true because I've always been able to navigate in such spots, and they actually show more fear and respect to me than I do to them. I mean, this is me being in an all white neighborhood or walking into a bar that has mostly white people in it. I mean, it'll be maybe one look or whatever, but it's like I don't trust the motherfuckers in the first place. So basically, what this jackass is saying is that we're trying to appeal more to them than we do to our own kind, which is blatantly untrue. But I mean, there are some black folks that do that. But I mean, at large, we as black men don't. Although we recognize that not all white people are actively racist, we want them to accept that all benefit from racism, and we become annoyed when individual whites take personal exception and center themselves in any conversation about race, claiming to be one of the good ones and wishing for us to stop and acknowledge their goodness, which I can't totally disagree with. But I mean, this is going to be spun some kind of way. But when black women share that we pose the same existential and literal danger to them that whiteness does to us, and when black women ask us to give them the benefit of the doubt about street harassment and sexual assault and other forms of harassment and violence that we might not personally witness, and when black women tell us that allowing our cousins and brothers and co-workers and niggas to use misogynistic language that propagates a culture of danger, and when black women admit how scary it can be to get followed and approached by a man while waiting on a bus or walking home from work, and when black women articulate how hurtful it is for our reactions to domestic abuse and their rapes and murders to be what women need to do differently to prevent this from happening to them instead of what we men need to do differently to prevent us from doing this to them. Their words are met with resistance and outright pushback, as demanding from after demanding from white people that we listen to and believe that our livelihoods are considered, our ears shut off and hearts shut down when black women are pleading with us. Let's go back through this. Okay. So as far as he's saying that the danger of whiteness is to black men, what the danger of the black man is to black women, which frames it as if black men are the ones that are harassing them in the street. We're essaying them, all kinds of other forms of harassment and violence that we might not personally witness. The reason why we don't personally witness a lot of this harassment and violence is because uh, we're not most real black men are not in places where this occurs. I'm not denying. I'm not denying that some things have happened. There are some jerks out there, but this doesn't seem like this is a conversation based on certain incidences. This is a conversation based on let's give all the accountability of the trouble that black women are facing to black men. Art New Stall was good. Um, I'm not some type of professional psychologist or whatever, or some online guru trying to convince the masses with misinformation and disinformation. I am just a regular black man giving my perspective on the narratives that are spread about black men. And this right here is one of the starting points. Prime VH 757 was good. Mm. To suggest that there's a level of misogyny that blocks us from black women's concerns. What women need to do differently to prevent this from happening to them. Yes, that's basically, when black men say, hey, maybe you shouldn't date someone toxic. Maybe you should choose better. Yeah. I'm gonna approach a chick, then get arrested or get called a creep, even though she clearly gave me the come hither stare. Mm. Making things worse is that black women and girls are also black people in America. A fact we seem to forget whenever possessing a bad memory is convenient. The effects of racism, metaphysical and literal, and the existential dread and dangers felt when existing while black and not exclusive to black men and boys. They face the same racisms we do and the same doubts from white about whether the racism actually exists that we do. And then they're forced to attempt to convince their brothers and partners and friends and fathers and cousins and lovers of the dangers of existing as black women. Number one, that is blatantly untrue. That is blatantly untrue. He's speaking as if black men are saying that we're the only ones that go through any racism in America, and fuck them black hoes over there. No, that's not going on. No, that's not going on. What we spend more time doing is trying to get the black woman to realize that black men are, also going through the same racist threats, because now we have this framing like black men are just so loved and accepted by white people that racism doesn't affect us as much as it affects the black woman. It's all bullshit. It's all gender banging. And really, if you ask me where more so where this so-called social media gender war comes from, it comes from jackasses who writes articles like these. I mean, you see him in the thumbnail. Does that look like a guy that is a that is a Mac genius that gets all the ladies? No, it doesn't. Brother seems kind of unhealthy and dilapidated, if you ask me. They are met with the same doubts, the same resistance, the same questions. They are not believed in the predominantly white world or in their predominantly black communities. And we black men remain either uninterested in sincerely addressing and destructing this culture of danger and uh, pervasive doubt, or refuse to even admit it even exists. Bullshit. Bullshit. Sorry. I'm not quite sure where I first heard that straight black men are the white people of black people. I know I read a version recently in Saki Benimbo's The 444 Effect. Mela Machenko tweeted, cis said, oh, that shit, that cis crap. Uh, cishet black men are the white people of black people over a year ago, and apparently received so much criticism for it that she temporarily locked her account. But in a conversation we had earlier today, she shared that a tweet is actually a revision of another tweet. Look at that shit. Oh, I don't know who originally said it, but oh, I got it from a tweet, and then I got it from this other tweet. Now, so we're not going to exactly say who's the first one to come up with it, but we're going to push the bullshit. But in a conversation we had earlier today, she shared that her tweet is actually a revision of another tweet she read. A month after Mella's tweet, it was revised again by at Rodimus Prime. Please do not name yourself a cool transformer. I know that I've read pieces and been part of conversations connecting our black men's relationship with black women to the relationship we had with white people. Whenever quite heard it articulated this way. Either way, that statement and phrasing of what we suggest are shocking and succinct, simple, subtle, and fucking scary. Yep. Michael Harriot wrote that on The Roots. Actually, it was Damon Young. Okay, just going back through this article, an article that Jamel Hill agreed with. I mean, what it does is it pushes bell hooks lingo to suggest that black men, the heterosexual ones, want to impose an oppressive system of respect and leadership uh, onto black women and black children in a social climate that you hear the women often complaining about there's no leadership. This is the kind of gaslighting that makes black men kind of, I don't know, simpish and falling for the okie doke. like there is a there is a level of privilege that black men face just because let's face it, the grifters organization known as Black Lives Matter, sorry, um, use the bodies of dead black men murdered by police to raise money to use for themselves and their families. You know, it wasn't us, it wasn't black men that decided that you should pay more attention to police brutality when it happens to black men than it does to black women. Because we knew how to say the names of the black women too. But since they want to divide black people, and there's so many black folks that fall for the okie doke, whether we like it or not, they continue to do things like this. They continue to say things like this. Big, large mansions. I mean, Black Lives Matter. Jamel Hill retweeted this just after black men defended her against Donald Trump. And that's the thanks they got. Yeah. Basically, also, I believe she reinforced this after the Dallas Cowboys wouldn't stand with Colin Kaepernick or wouldn't kneel with Colin Kaepernick. In particular, Dez Bryant. So she started saying, "Well, I don't want to say this, but straight black men, other white people, black people, like fuck out of here." What the reason why I'm bringing this up is because yeah, there are black men. You should take more of a stand against stuff like this. I mean, not to say that there's not a certain particular virtual YouTube space that isn't already doing it, but just to remind you guys, when you receive pushback from in online spaces, this is where a lot of this mentality comes from. An article that was written back in 20 and published back in 2017. They have been trying to equate blackness to BS. This all started with that Orange is the New Black BS show. Yeah, it was a lot of things wrong in that show. I actually used to watch that show. Black men have always been open to black women's concerns. We just ask them for the same courtesy. Yeah, gender banging. Yeah, gender banging. Shoot, but like, let me see. Let me look up Damon Young real quick. Damon Young. I said, brother looks sick, man. Oh, look at him with the Killmonger. The hairstyle everybody is tired of seeing on cartoons with that have black teenage boys in it. Yeah, what's wrong with these brothers, man? I mean, he tried to. It basically it sounds like to me he tried to get famous off of trying to drag black men, and I mean, this is his legacy. This is his legacy. I don't think it quite worked out because this is the only thing that you've heard this man doing, thank God. But the point is, it cemented a mentality. The dude looks like a complete spaz. This dude looks like he does cocaine. I mean, I don't know. Or he's one of those ones that drink like beer without the alcohol in it. These dudes are pretty bad. But they write stuff like this. He looks like he drags the letter S whenever he speaks. Near beer. Yeah. Dudes like that drink Dos Equis. No, is it Dos Equis that's non-alcoholic? I don't know. Here. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Take a look at my likes. Okay, I got 22 likes. I still got that one dislike. Yeah. O'Doul's. Okay, O'Doul's. Yeah, not Dos Equis. Yeah. That's what this guy drinks, O'Doul's. But you're going to see a lot of these folks that come with this mentality during this 2024 election. Hybrid catastrophic impact. Yeah, X83rd power. Dos Equis is the most interesting man in the world beer. Oh, yeah, those commercials were pretty funny. Yeah. But what do y'all think it is? What do y'all think you brothers watching right now? Well, we got 30 in the building. What do y'all think, man? What do y'all think when y'all see articles like this? What would you want to tell brothers like this, Damon Young? What would you want to discuss with him? With his fake Killmonger hairdo? Hybrid catastrophic impact. X83rd power says to that serial disliker, we gonna whoop that trick, whoop that trick. It's not quite that serious. You know, the serial dislike person may be a girl. It may be a woman that really want to tell me something. Ooh. Hmm. See, I don't normally drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Oh, okay. Same old, same old. Shame black men into submitting to women. Yeah, because oh, big dog prod, what's good? So tell me something. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's the same old, man. I mean, but we've been hearing this like by now is we've been hearing this kind of stuff forever and ever. They've added to the shaming tactics. These black men saying that they won't respect me home. They just want to be just like white men. So I see it's an agenda they are pushing. I would ask him where are his articles that do a non-biased critique of straight black men. They don't have any because it's not required. Yeah, I mean, if it were required, maybe they'll have one, or maybe they have a couple or something. But I gotta get this dumb ass shit off the screen. Uh, I mean, they're never gonna do it. They'll think they'll be exempt from the backlash. We are all one big Negro to the sisterhood, and the reason why that is because they throw all themselves into the same box. You talk about Lizzo, then you talking about all black women. Yeah, I remember. Like I saw another one of the videos the other day. Like dude was going around and asking women if Lizzo was beautiful, and all the women were saying yes. So he walked up to one woman and said, "You look like Lizzo." Man, she slapped the shit out that man. I remind you, in order for a matriarchy to run, men have to agree to it. Since men build and enforce, women can't compel men through force. Patriarchy is a reverse. So it ain't all the women's fault. It's the simps that paid into it. I'm white now. Shit. A Pringle can with veins. Whatever that means, but what's good? He drinks soy milk. What up, bad hombre? Yeah, man. Shoot. Then you got Joy Reid out here. I said Joy Reid was. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Hold on one second. Joy Reid was trying to tell black people you're gonna be on the wrong side of history if you don't vote for if you don't vote Democrat. See if I can find that shit. Told you, man. The gaslighting is on full attack. Let's see. Yeah. All right. I found something. Go ahead and play this for you guys. That man said that damn Roland Martin shirt still gives me the creeps. Joy Reid looks like the bad guy from Meteor Man. Come on, man. Okay, so let me go ahead and play this for y'all real quick. I bet you an ad plays first. Come on, man. Ugh.
La administración Biden-Harris anunció una nueva medida migratoria que ayudará.
Skip ad.
I just gotta say it. Fam.
Okay.
Hey, fam. Okay, I just gotta say it. I just gotta say it. Given the just stratospheric entrance of Vice President Kamala Harris into the presidential campaign, and she has now secured enough delegates to become the nominee, you're going to look real crazy being on the other side of that line, particularly as a person of color.
Fair use.
But really as anyone who claims to have any connection to the culture. You're going to look real weird and real lonely on that side. The door needs to close behind Amber. And she looked crazy over there. But shut the door behind her. You really are going to look crazy being on that side, given the cultural phenomenon.
Seeing that if Kamala Harris does win the presidency, that she'll be everybody's president, plus the ones that voted somewhere else. I mean, so she looked kind of crazy saying this in the beginning anyway.
Of Vice President Kamala Devi Harris. She's about to make history. She's about to become the first woman president. She brings together the African American community.
No, she doesn't.
The AAPI community, younger people. She is a whole meme. And I'm going to explain to y'all the fall of the coconut tree is a whole West Indian thing. She brings together all of the aspects of the culture. HBCUs, she's a Howard graduate. The Divine Nine, she's an AKA.
Yeah, this is hard to swallow right here. This is hard to stomach. Says so vote for her because she's a woman that claims to be black. Yeah, absolutely.
She is a woman of color extraordinaire. She would be the first person from HBCU, regular real world, to be president of the United States, in addition to being the first woman president, in addition to being the first Black woman president, in addition to being the first AAPI president. She's bringing it all. And very importantly, she will be the first woman president after the fall of Roe v. Wade. A woman who brings women back to power after having our power stripped from us by 6 far right wingers on the Supreme Court, including one woman who turned on us. Baby, this is a cultural moment. Don't be on the wrong side of history. Don't find yourself on that lonely side, because you're going to look real crazy over there with Kid Rock.
Yeah. Okay. Says she doesn't need your support. That's what Reed and Whoopi and Sunny hosting types get for saying that people of color BS instead of black people. I really hate that, because when you use people of color, you are putting black back at the back of the bus. That's what it's doing. That's just to prioritize something besides the struggle of black people, not just black men, not just black women, like this son of a bitch, Damon Young, trying to imply through this article. Ain't no way. Mama said vote Democrat, so you better vote Democrat. I'm tired of black women trying to shame black men after they fucked up for years. Power, power. When people show you who they are, believe them. Yeah. So basically, she's just trying to say that she brings all these communities together. Oh, she's gonna be a woman president, a woman. Like, that's Joy Reid. That's all she got. Like, nothing is nothing ever. Nobody's ever going to mention what would be beneficial directly for black people while they have a platform to do so. It's just symbolism, massive symbolism. And we might have to, as a group of men, we might have to get ready for that symbolism. But the symbolism that they're striving for is coming along with shit like this, with sentiments like this that you see on the screen. You don't hear the Telemundo and the La Raza type Latinos include us in the brown people talk, but they always say black and brown when it's something for us. Yeah. Aren't they strong and independent? Why they need my vote? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. But yeah, we're a melting pot of culture over here, as they say. Yet when you go over to their countries, they're not talking that shit worth a damn. They're not talking about DEI. They're not talking about inclusion. They're not making other races the star of their shows and the stars of their movies. They're not with that. But when it comes over here to the United States, they just do it as some type of excuse to cut out black people. And unfortunately, we got to be the population that is participating in their own political demise. And they act like they don't know it. They just want the symbolism. Most of our people just want the symbolism. They need to see if those bears are registered. Marco Kane was good. Yeah. So let me check my likes real quick. All of you should have pressed like, or dislike for a couple of you. I know how some of you are. Well, look at that. Also, just make sure that, like, if you are sub to this channel, make sure that you are still sub to this channel, because YouTube been tripping lately. Yeah, YouTube has been tripping lately. But I got 25 likes. There's 30 of you watching. Hit that like button, please. They don't even know what they are voting for. No, they know what they're voting for. They're voting for a person with a vagina. That's what's important to them. And if you're a man and you don't do it, and I've been saying this for the past few nights, you are going to be labeled sexist, misogynist. You're going to be labeled all those cool words they've been making up with y'all for y'all over the years, like misogynoir. But they gonna coin some new term. Oh yeah. Joy Reid's recent white adjacent. If you are a black man that votes for Trump, or you're a brown man that votes for Trump, you are white adjacent. Gone for milk. What's good? The people who vote for Kamala need to be shipped off to an island, left there to fend for themselves. God damn. Yeah, you're gonna have the Willie D's of the world with their emotional political talk, trying to shame brothers too. Drop off food for them every couple of months and let them fight. God damn. Mm. But yeah, like I said, this kind of shit makes me sick. And the fact that there are brothers that follow this doctrine as well, I don't know what they intend to accomplish. Boyce. Yeah, Boyce was doing a live stream yesterday, asking, does it really matter what race that Kamala is married to? Something to that effect. Saying no, I guess that's an answer to like how they complain about professional athletes and famous black guys being married to white women, but it should not matter in the case of Kamala Harris, which is wow. Yeah, a lot of people a lot of people are making the point where everybody was co-signing Kendrick Lamar saying Drake was not like us, but all of a sudden Kamala Harris is like us. Anybody they tell us is black is black. And what I mean by they is these white people. I mean the real ones, not the straight black men. Because we ain't been saying that Drake is black. It's just like people will switch up whenever it's convenient. I heard his daughter married a white man. It's copium. To my Boyce. Boyce got a daughter? Remember when they tried the no voting, no fucking campaign? They are going to learn come November. Okay. I mean, we shall see. We shall see. What I'm saying is, I mean, I don't mean to sound like a hater, but I don't think that Kamala is the best candidate for blacks. I don't. And a lot of people don't see that. Their vote is for abortions and more foreign competing groups to compete for our ability to get job, resources, and contracts. Mhm. Yeah. Moist Watkins. The guy that was at the back of the line. The guy that finally got his turn. Yeah. Well, yeah, I just wanted to, remind you that shit like this out here exists. It's pretty bad that we still have to deal with these sentiments, especially from a bunch of what I like to call losers. Because I mean, in order to continue to push something like this, and I mean, you're kind of a loser. I mean, myself as a heterosexual black man, I take exception to this. It's like, why would you try to compromise my blackness because I don't agree with you philosophically on social media or any type of media for this matter? So they push stuff like this because when we speak on things such as racism and issues dealing with black people, we're inclusive of everyone, black men and black women. But we have a group of people that want to play the victimhood Olympics, so I guess there's some opposition that we have to face too as well. Kamala would not be black to black women if she is with a black man. Yeah, I don't know if I've been saying this for the past couple of nights, but a lot of the reasons why they do like Kamala Harris is because she's with a white man, and they keep calling her a black woman. Shit, most of the women in the Democratic on the Democratic side are black women in particular are either with white men or they're gay. So yeah, I think that's the one thing they admire about Kamala is the fact that she's with a white man. She's a female Clarence Thomas, but it's okay for them to be able to be that way. Just like Ketanji Brown Jackson, black women rallied behind her, and she's married to a white man, and she was a victim of racism in college, but she still went to them crackers. So, hey, the like we said, hybrid, the hypocrisy that's all over. But look, we as black men, we're gonna have to decide. I mean, we're the ones that decide this, and until you realize that, then we're still gonna run into these problems with these people pushing narratives like this. And this came from a black man. A lot of this stuff around here, a lot of these ideas, and a lot of this stupidity comes from brothers that's trying to get some form of validation. I don't know what this brother was swinging for because he looked like he's probably on his last leg. Is that Olivia Pope fantasy? Yeah, Scandal was a great show to a certain group of people because she was a side chick to the white president. Yeah, she was upper level side pussy, and that's what they aspire to be. You black men in America are too kind to black women in America. You have to change. I actually agree with that. I'm not saying, put them under an oppressive fist, but at least be a ruthless, nice guy. Let them know that certain resources that you have aren't available to them. And then if they try to come back as you ain't got no gold to dig, you ain't got no resources, that's just a projection of the guys that you're fucking. We're on our own no matter what happens in November. Yeah, yeah, yeah. One thing we should do is concentrate on making ourselves into our best version, no matter what happens. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Just wanted to come to y'all for a moment in your time. Thank you for watching. Just wanted to go over this dumbass article, seeing if there's some type of validity to it. The answer is no. And I would not ever co-sign with a message like this. It is fucking ridiculous. Being a ruthless, nice guy is the way to go. It said Indians from the Sun continent are extremely racist against blacks. Don't be fooled. Okay. I appreciate being able to bring y'all some more content. And there it is. We're at the end of the show. Long live the habitual line steppers. See you on the next go round. Peace.